Your project manager, who rarely calls you at odd hours, calls you early in the morning and asks you to check an email. They also request you that schedule a call as soon as possible to discuss the matter. Now, fully awake, you begin checking the email and go through the email chain. At the bottom, you see an email sent to your top management from a senior person on the customer side, possibly the project sponsor or their boss. Escalation, fear, panic, anxiety, and whatnot. You are now engulfed with various such feelings. You immediately call your project manager and start explaining your innocence, and the real drama begins. Typically, an escalation is a situation where the intended parties cannot resolve or complete a task or issue. Hence, the customer wants to bring it to the party's attention at the next level. It means that the customer thinks the situation is more severe, so urgent attention is required. Fine, but it is essential to worry about that. Why does an escalation make most of us anxious? The issue could be minor or not an issue from your perspective, but still, why? It could be a mistake on your end, whatever it is. First and foremost, the reaction within you is triggered primarily because tens of people from your organization will ask you tons of questions to you now. Sometimes you will get organizational support, sometimes not. As a BA, please note that there is no point in getting tense or worried whenever there is an escalation. If you are worried, things will only get worse. Take a break and talk to your team about the mitigation plan. Be positive and, more importantly, remain calm and don't take it personally. It is not against you. It would be best if you did not react but responded with an action plan. Communication is key when dealing with escalations. Talk to your customers on call. If it is your mistake, acknowledge it. Everyone makes mistakes. It's not the world's end if an escalation happens in your project. If it is not your mistake, then that could result from miscommunication. Clarify your stand. Be courageous. You don't need to be submissive. This will build trust, actually. Here are a few things to remember as a BA when you deal with the escalations. 1. No matter how skilled and experienced you are, it is inevitable that you will encounter an escalation from a stakeholder in your work at some point. This is inevitable, so have a process in place. Many times customers or stakeholders are unaware of a few things, such as new processes, etc. And out of panic, they escalate. Hence, establishing a process and making your customers aware of it are essential. Number 2, if you respond to a situation with an action plan, rarely do escalations become an issue. The thing is, you need to assure your confidence over the issue or issue resolution to them. If they feel confident about your ability to resolve the situation, the customer will be relieved. Hence, taking that ownership to resolve the issue is important. You may take help from many people, teams, or stakeholders later, but your assurance to resolve the issue makes the situation calmer. Sometimes, customers think that escalations are a way to control the project team and keep them in fear so that they can deliver. Sometimes such tactics do work, but in such situations, you should always be calm and respond with an action plan. If you have such customers, you'll keep getting escalations more often. So keep worrying every time about escalation isn't an option at all, right? Number 3, effective communication is crucial when dealing with escalations and addressing customer concerns. Communicate the status at every step during the resolution stage and keep every required stakeholder informed. When you handle the situation correctly, it will create an opportunity for your customers to trust you. Well, now here is a slight detour in this topic. See, satisfying customer needs is important, but can all the needs of a stakeholder be met? Is it possible? Can a project fulfill all the needs of stakeholders? Can BAs work in such a way that it fulfills all the needs of all the stakeholders? Can we make everyone happy? Can all the needs of a stakeholder be met? I mean, asking again and again. Can we even think of that? An interesting white paper published on the IIBA website has some fascinating insights. The white paper makes very valid points about understanding and delivering the needs of stakeholders or customers. As a BA, it is essential to understand the real customer expectations and most importantly what they expect from this project. That is true. Is it an improved business process or is it enhanced efficiency? What is that customer need? We need to understand that. So once you figure this out, as a BA, you should filter out the real needs and deliver those real needs. Business analysis is heavily dependent on understanding and identifying the needs of the customer. For example, you have delivered a project as per the requirements, but if your the delivered item or delivered requirement is tougher than, or the experience of that requirement makes a customer spend more time, or the experience is much worse than the previous process which was already existed, then the customer may not agree to your solution, right? So that's the kind of a scenario. So as I said earlier, once you figure this out, what is that customer needs, as a BA, you should filter out the real needs and deliver those real needs. Business analysis is heavily dependent on understanding and identifying the needs of stakeholders. Identifying these needs can lead to pursuit of specific goals or the attainment of your certain benefits. Therefore, as BA, it holds significance to convey to stakeholders that not every requirement might be fulfilled. This is because constraints such as budget, time, or technical limitations may prevent all needs from being met. So, it's crucial to remember that a need is not a tangible thing, but rather an experience unique to each individual. Hence, it is definitely BA's job to make his or her stakeholders or customers understand the same. Now imagine the situation is not so good in your project. So how you can make peace with situations? Sometimes things can get really tough, and no matter what you try, it might not work out. Just like life has its ups and downs, a project can have tough times and regular times. But no matter what, it's important to keep your mind as a BA in a good place. This is the most important quality a business analyst should have. Over time, I have found that if we let stress get to us, think negatively, and don't try our hardest to fix things, we can end up in even worse situations. So here are the top 4 things you should always keep in mind to make peace with situations. Number 1, be honest and straightforward. As a BA, being honest, straightforward, open, without ego, and transparent is really important. With your team members, make sure, or even with stakeholders, speak with integrity. Communicate with them regularly. Be open about what you're going to do, and if something changes, communicate with them as early as possible. Number 2, be clear. Ask questions. Seek help. As a BA, you should have the courage to ask questions. Clarify things that are not clear. Don't imagine or make assumptions. Understand things clearly. Even if you have the slightest doubt, Don't just assume it, clarify it. Strictly no room for any ambiguity. Do not hesitate to seek help when needed. Remember, in a team, everyone should help each other. Number 3, always give your best. Whatever the situation may be, give your best to resolve the issue or situation. Whether you are a newbie or experienced, don't break your head about why a plan did not go well or if requirements needs to be rewritten. Always think about what you can learn from this situation. Never blame anyone, including yourself. Number 4, this is most important. Don't take things personally. First off, understand that the world will not listen to you just because you are saying something. As BAs, it's your duty to ask questions, assess business needs, and suggest what is really needed for business. During this process, you will get a lot of resistance, knee-jerk reactions, and not so good behavior from stakeholders. To keep your sanity, just always be aware that all those reactions are not intended for you. Obviously, you are an agent of change. The change will have repercussions. The person on the other side may have their own concerns with the project or impending change still. Hence, as a BA, your duty is just to listen and understand them and act in such a way that whatever your output should become a real value for them. This will benefit a lot for your project and for your mental peace as well.